this is just a ploy from the Trump team to come out and really be defensive and take the judge on, as well as the New York Attorney General's office head on, to kind of distract from the case and make it more about politics rather than the issue at hand, because they've already seen this as like a case that they're going to lose, and they want to make it play in the sense that, they want it to seem that he is being unfairly targeted by this judge and by the New York Attorney General's office.
So Trump here, the former US president, facing a $250 million lawsuit. So the allegation is that he overvalued his assets, the valuation of buildings, to obtain better deals from lenders. However, it almost feels like that's a side point to Donald Trump, and that the trial is more about him getting attention, playing the wronged man.
That's exactly right. He clashed repeatedly with the judge today in his civil fraud trial, and this really threatens his property empire. He's always called himself this businessman, this successful businessman. And it really, hurts his image, the fact that he has to kind of defend himself and his so-called business empire that, according to him. So it's really interesting that, this is playing out in court, but many legal experts believe that this is just a ploy from the Trump team to come out and really be defensive and take the judge on, as well as the New York Attorney General's office head on, to kind of distract from the case and make it more about politics rather than the issue at hand, because they've already seen this as like a case that they're going to lose, and they want to make it play in the sense that, they wanted to seem that he is being unfairly targeted by this judge and by the New York Attorney General's office.
Wow. So the outcome is not thought to be favourable to Donald Trump. I mean, how sort of open and shut is this case with regards to his innocence? And obviously, it hasn't just been him testifying. His sons have also been testifying. Ivanka Trump, we're not quite sure about yet. But how sort of open and shut is this case against him?
I think there's a lot that's still left on the table, but what has been decided is, the judge has already ruled that the Trump organization committed fraud. Now the trial is to determine the penalties and to determine how much of a hand former President Trump really had in committing these frauds. We've already seen through a wide variety of documents that have been released by the New York Attorney General's office. A lot of them that were actually pulled out in court today while the president was testifying, and a lot of these documents bore his signature. So now it's up to his defense to kind of separate it, and you really saw that play out in court as well, where former President Trump really tried to make the case that he wasn't responsible for this. It was just, it's actually the people who work for the Trump organization who may be the ones responsible. So he tried to deflect blame as much as he could, just to try and make it seem like he's not the one responsible for whatever the New York Attorney General's office thinks that he's done.
So there were quite a few clashes this morning. Donald Trump very much sort of playing up to the audience in the court, if you want to put it like that. This afternoon, as it is over in the US, has he been better behaved?
Well, there was a very testy series of exchanges in the morning before he took the stand. Trump and the judge, Arthur Engoron, repeatedly clashed, and the judge really told the former president to answer the questions, to not go into lengthy dialogue. He said, this is not a political rally. Answer questions as yes or no. And he even, told former President Trump, you can attack me all you want, but, just answer the questions. At one point, even telling his lawyer that, please control your client. This is not a political rally. This is a courtroom. But the tone after the lunch break was very subdued, in a sense that, the former president appeared deferential in court, and he appeared to be, listening and open to listening to the judge and answering questions the way the Attorney General's offices wanted him to answer in yes or no. And at one moment, he even deferred to the judge. So it's a really, it's a portrait in contrast from what took place this morning and what took place in the afternoon session of the court.